Hello and welcome back to another LEGO Unbox, Unbag and Builds Per Bag. This time I'm here with set 75281, Anakin's Jedi Interceptor. Now this was released as part of the August wave with the 501st Battle Pack, and it's a very nice wave, to be honest. It's kind of one of the waves I wanted to get pretty much everything in, and that's the first time it's happened in a long time. It has 248 pieces, so there probably won't be an awful lot of bags in here. And it comes, of course, with the two minifigs you see down the bottom. Now, some people are giving out about the Anakin figure, saying that it's not a new figure. Well, I have information for you. It is actually a new figure, but only by a technicality. In the same way that Draco Malfoy in the Monster Book of Monsters is a new figure. I've seen a YouTuber literally make up her Draco Malfoy from spare parts. And it's nothing new to anybody. It's just that they've mashed different parts together for this minifigure. Same with this one. You can see the body on Jewel of Mustafar, which is a set from 2020, and the head comes from the previous Anakin's Interceptor that was made in 2018. The R2-D2 is, not new to this set, but he's new to 2020, so that's still kind of, it's a fresh design still, but for the sake of them making this set with a small amount of upgrades, they could have made a massive upgrade with the, minifigure. They could have. They should have. There's no reason that they couldn't have done that when they went ahead and made all these other figures for the waves, and it just seems like laziness. I'm going to say it. It does. I don't particularly like this because I feel like I've gotten a figure from a set that I don't have, and I don't like that. I just really don't. But anyway, getting on to the rest of the box, we can see that it has the typical top of the box here with the 1-for-1 minifigure in the corner there, and the LEGO Star Wars logo and some small print, and then you can see it has the LEGO Life logo on the side, loads of small print. Typical enough stuff, small print on the bottom again then, and you can see the Star Wars logo there, and the front picture of the ship, typically for the sides of the box. Now the back of the box is pretty boring, to be honest, for this set, but again it is a smaller, cheap set, but even in the 501st Battle Pack, which was roughly the same price, there was a lot more going on. This has two functions. You can open up the cockpit, and you can fire spring-loaded shooters. But, for the price, you don't really expect much anyway. I will mention that Anakin comes with his lightsaber, which is, expected, and a good addition there. But also, you can see this box in the corner that says, play in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which means we will see this ship return in early 2021 with the release of the game. So, from the back of the box to the unbox, and let's see what we have in here. We can see that the cockpit piece is separate from all of the boxes, and we have 3 bags. I thought we'd only have 2, to be honest. I would have been disappointed if we only had 2, but we have 3 there, which is nice to see. Oh, we have a sticker sheet, of course, why not? And yeah, I forgot about this. See, this usually printed tile here is actually a sticker. It's a 1x1 little tile, and it's ridiculous that they have that as a sticker when they do actually have the piece itself printed. They brought back a head from 2018, but they wouldn't bring back the printed tile. Only the okayest is good enough. So yeah, you can see it comes with 3 bags, an instruction book, of course, which is a little bit kind of crinkled. Now, I didn't leave this sitting in my house in a weird position for a while, so this is fresh out of the box, and I literally got it in the post like a day or 2 ago. So that's extremely disappointing as well. That never usually happens. And of course there's a sticker sheet there and the cockpit piece here outside the bag. Now I suppose we can just get straight into the unbagging. So bag number 1, and it is pitifully tiny. The contents are very, very small. Like if you look at the AT-AT set that came out in 2020, this tray would be full with 1 bag. Your small pieces is arguably there's more pieces in the small piece bag than there is in the big piece. In the way of interesting kind of pieces, you can see this printed brick here, which is nice to see because, it's always, I think it is a standard enough print that they still have, but it is, again, a nice little tile to have there, good for mocks and stuff if you want to make any Star Warsy mocks. You can see there that the minifigure is entirely in here, both of the minifigs are in there. And just to look at your small side here, again, nothing too crazy. You can see that there's a spare lightsaber hilt, and it's a nice shiny lightsaber hilt this year. But yeah, and you can see probably there the thrusters for the back, which is interesting to see there. Not a lot to say about this bag. We'll just move on straight on to the build. So this really ticked me off, right? See this sticker here? I thought that was maybe for the outside, maybe like a fueling kind of thing, which is fine. But it goes on to one of these little, you know, the typical cheese slopes that they would usually print the controls onto. Yeah? You know the one. There's loads. I mean, there's a lot to choose from now because they have a few in the AT-AT Walker. They have this tile printed. They're being really lazy with this set, and it's really starting to tick me off. That sticker goes on that tile and then onto the front there, as you can see. Like that. I mean, that is just the height of... I don't even know how to talk about it. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They don't need to do this. This is definitely bringing down the set way more. I mean, they have two printed tiles that they don't use. They use stickers instead. They have a body that they reuse and a head that they bring back from 2018. This is... I'm really not enjoying this build. So at the end of bag one, we have the cockpit with no wings on it, and I think that's pretty much all we're going to do on the cockpit. It's kind of bog standard. There's not an awful lot different to the last build, to the last version of this set that came out. Not an awful lot different at all. They work as far to make sure that it actually stays together. It does seem a bit sturdy like, but they don't really do a lot. Like, this interior is extremely lacking, I think, but it always has been, and they have never really improved on that yet. I just think I'm just after the first bag, I'm thinking, why did they go to the bother of making this set at all when they've cut so many corners? Here is your spare parts. You can see the minifigures are here. Now, getting rid of this catastrophe for a second, this is a nice figure. It really is. I really like it. I actually haven't got this figure yet, surprisingly enough, but I do have him in an unopened set so far. I have him in Obi-Wan's hut, but I'm not opening Obi-Wan's hut until I'm opening Mos Eisley Cantina, because I'll do all of those videos around the same time, one after the other. I'll do the Landspeeder, Obi-Wan's hut, and Mos Eisley then after that, so you can expect it in that order if you're following the channel at all. And you can see the Anakin minifigure here. It is just a harsh reminder that they are cutting as many corners as they can for this set, and to be honest, so far I'm disappointed. But let's get on to bag number 2 and see what's in it. So, bag number 2, and you can see there's a few interesting parts here. There is these tiles here, which are interesting. They're kind of unique enough to this set. They have been in other sets in different colours and whatnot, but they kind of appear here in yellow kind of exclusively as far as I'm aware. Other interesting pieces might be this tile here, the kind of shield tile, I think it's been called before. This little tile here, because it's the 2x2 kind of tile there, plate there. It looks nice. Otherwise standard enough looking pieces. Arguably that bit is a bit unusual, but again, we've seen that quite a lot in the recent Star Wars sets, well, I have at least. And yeah, that's it. On the small side then, you can see there isn't an awful lot of kind of unique pieces in there either. And of course, no printed tiles. But let's get on to the build. So at the end of bag number 2, and we have one of the wings added on here. Now, just like this is an upgrade, I will mention. I think that there's something around here that's new. But, you know, it doesn't warrant, these small little upgrades do not warrant making a new ship. This sticker here is kind of printed offset, so you can see the black around it is a little bit thicker on one side, so it's actually wonky, the sticker itself, and then putting it on wonky just makes it even worse again. That's really getting to me, because they have this tile, you know, it's just laziness. The worst thing about this is we didn't need this set because this hasn't been, current since Revenge of the Sith. And it's kind of annoying to me that they went and said, let's make another version, the exact same almost, and, of this Starfighter, of the Interceptor, and let's not make anything from the Clone Wars, or let's not make anything from the Mandalorian in its place, the one that everybody is watching at the moment, Season 7 of the Clone Wars and the Mandalorian, which is coming out. And it's really getting to me, to be honest. Like, the design is nice, but it's no different really to the last one. There's only a small amount of upgrades to the last one. I find it hard to hate the design, but again, I think I've explained myself well. But anyway, look, we'll get on to the next bag. I'll show you the spare parts for this one first, and yeah, we can get straight on into the next bag. And I'm just going to brush over this bag because apart from the torpedoes you see there, the green torpedoes, it's essentially the same bag as the last bag because it is just the opposite wing. Maybe a little bit less pieces, if anything, but yeah, that's essentially all that is in bag number 3, the final bag. Now we can get on to the build and finally be done with this because I'm really not having a great time with it. And it's the first set I've had ever, I think, that I've just had a bad time building because I've had so much negative feedback about it. Like, I mean, again, it's hard to not like the build itself. The design of it is nice, but it's just there's so many bad points about it that it's hard to really enjoy this set. But anyway, as I said, moving on to the build. At the end of bag 3, and as I said, it was literally just the other wing. There was nothing like in the main part of it or anything like that. The exact same, which is why we get no spare pieces because we would have got them all in the last bag for the wing. And just to look at the spare parts for the entire set there. Like, the design is nice, but again, I've already voiced my concerns with this set, so I'm not going to bore you with that. Little look at the end of the instruction book now, as per usual, and we can see we just have to, the last step then is to fill up these, and actually the last step is to shoot a spring-loaded shooter. Look, I'm wrong, you just have to do this, you have to shoot one and then you have to put that in there. This, I didn't notice, is nice. It's a little clip underneath for Anakin's lightsaber. Now, there is one on the other side, as you can see there, for the torpedo, but his lightsaber gets stored in there, and that's kind of a nice little feature. Also, you can see that he fits in there. I'll show you all that now just before we go in real life. And yeah, you can see again that this is supposed to have been released in 2020, but it's just the COVID happened and that didn't exactly get capitalized on just yet. It'll be early 2021 before we see that. We see some of the other sets from the wave, and it's a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter because we don't see the separate figures on another page. We see then the parts list, and that's pretty much it for that set. So at the end of the set, yeah, you can see he fits in there. He might lie down a little bit too much, but he won't really sit up much more, and even if he does, he's kind of away from the seat there, so it looks a bit weird. Again, as I said earlier, the cockpit leaves a lot to be desired. R2 fits in there nice and well. I mean, he kind of sticks out there at the bottom a bit, and to be quite honest, I think it's better if they try and just take off the heads of these droids and put them on the ship, because it makes it all look a little bit more smooth as opposed to just sticking the figure in there. Although it is nice that they've kind of updated their kind of range to facilitate the figure slotting into places like that. I just think, it was probably better the other way around. And as I said, then you can see that there's his lightsaber on this side here, and the extra torpedo here are kind of attached there through little clips, as you can see. And that's a nice little feature, so you don't lose the torpedo or lightsaber during play or anything like that. So that is kind of nice. The design is nice, and to be honest, I'll get into the review now. I'll start recording that, and as soon as I have it, I will give you the link in the description down below. Thanks a million for watching my review, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below if you feel like there's anything that needs to be said. Thanks a million, guys. See you again. Take care.